Hey, what is up, phone dogs? Bo HD here, and I'm sure you know by now, but September might just be the most tech-packed month of the year. I mean, September is just about here, and we're already starting to learn about all of the possible announcements expected this September. And so I'm going to highlight as many of them as I can and add to the hype that already exists. So let's take a look. Okay, so by far the biggest announcement expected this September is the iPhone 6. While Apple is usually pretty tight about leaks, there have been plenty of leaks suggesting we'll see a larger 4.7 and 5.5 inch iPhone this fall. Other leaks indicate that we'll see a protruding camera sensor and an incredibly thin frame of just 6.9mm thick, which is even thinner than the previous iPhone. It will of course come with Apple's latest OS, that being iOS 8, and it will of course sell millions. I wouldn't be surprised if this iPhone actually continues to set sales records for Apple, judging by the crazy high demand and hype we've seen for this phone. Another big announcement expected at around the same time is the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. Now, Samsung always likes to release a new Note each year at around the same time Apple releases their new iPhone, and they always seem to pack it full of great tech specs that are always sure to impress anybody. This year around, we can expect to see a Snapdragon 2.5 GHz quad-core processor or octa-core Exynos chip, 3 GB of RAM, a 16 megapixel camera, and a beautiful 5.7-inch UHD AMOLED display. It will also, of course, have the iconic S Pen stylus, and I'm sure it will be packed full of software features Samsung is famous for. Motorola is also expected to release a bunch of new devices, including the Moto 360 smartwatch running Android Wear, along with a successor to the Moto X dubbed the Moto X+1, and we could also see a new device called the Droid Turbo, which looks to smash the competition with its crazy high-end specs, such as a Snapdragon 805 quad-core processor, 3 GB of RAM, and a 5-inch UHD display, among many other things. I mean, it's possible it'll only make its way to Verizon, but if this device is a reality, it could seriously win a spot in my pocket. As for the other devices, the Moto 360 will be the first Android Wear powered device to feature a rounded display, and it looks to be the most stylish smartwatch to date, so I'm really looking forward to that. The Moto X+1, on the other hand, might not feature the most cutting edge specs, but if it's anything like the Moto X, specs don't matter. I mean, Motorola always manages to throw some great software features in their devices without sacrificing speed and performance. But some rumors suggest that it will have a 3D or curved display, and it looks like it could also have a camera sensor with optical zoom. So once again, when it comes to the Moto X lineup, I don't really care about specs, I care more about design and software features. Now, the other major announcement this September will come from Microsoft, as they will be releasing their Windows 9 developer preview. Now, I wasn't much of a fan of their last operating system, but I'm actually looking forward to Windows 9 because I'm confident Microsoft will fix many of the problems that plagued their last OS. I mean, if you look at their track record, they seem to release one good OS, followed by a bad OS, followed by a good OS, and so on. For example, there was Windows XP, which was great, then Windows Vista, which was terrible, and then Windows 7, which was great, and so on. So hopefully they'll surprise us with something new this September with Windows 9. But those are some of the major announcements expected this September. We could also expect to see a possible rounded LG smartwatch in September, along with a new rounded Galaxy Gear smartwatch. But there really seems to be several new leaks each and every day now, so I'm sure we'll see plenty of additional tech products released on top of the stuff I mentioned above. But I want to ask you, what are your top 3 devices you are most looking forward to? I asked my followers on Twitter, and they really seem to be interested in the iPhone 6 and Moto 360, but let me know what you're interested in by leaving me a comment down below. And so with that said, I'm Bo HD from PhoneDog.com. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. See ya.